What up, guys? Welcome to Men Talk TV with myself and Mr. Derek Howlett.
Yes,
Derek,
yes, yes. All right, so we have a little bit of Q&A,
got
and
some Q&A.
Seth is so we're gonna answer a few questions in today's video, not just one, two
Not just
questions.
one. So, first question comes from a Mr. 17-year-old gentleman who's been on NoFap for 2 years. And unfortunately, he can't seem to get rid of the habit. Essentially, the longest that he's gone has been 24 days, and he keeps falling back into the cycle. He'll go periods of times where he'll go for like 3 to 4 days without it, and then 3 to 4 days on. And then he'll go, a week without it, and then a week back on. And so essentially his question is, how can I stay relaxed and discharged when I'm on NoFap? Derek, give us your insight.
All right, so one thing that he also kind of noted in his question here is that as the tension starts to build, so after you kind of like start getting on NoFap, you start to get this tension in your body just from, like, you have this urge to want to fap, right? And as that tension starts to build, his social anxiety also starts to increase. So he says, I used to have massive social anxiety and still have it sometimes, but it's not as big. I would say I'm confident, at least I look confident on the outside. So basically he's saying, like, after he faps, he has this big discharge. So he feels that kind of like relaxed, like he's just basically, that tension's starting to build up, and then he's releasing it. And as that tension starts to build up, he's also having a lot of social anxiety. So one thing that I would like to talk about is obviously being a witness to your thoughts, because I think that's really an important topic when we're talking about social anxiety. Because what typically happens, from what I understand from people who have really bad social anxiety and who have panic attacks, is that they're really kind of like stuck in their mind, and they're not a witness of their mind. So something that we're definitely going to be talking about is the power of meditation. So I like to meditate for 20 minutes every single morning. And the reason why this is really important, so if you get on a negative thought loop where you're constantly focused on, maybe you're in a social situation and you're constantly thinking maybe people are judging you, maybe people are they're judging you for some reason, like, and you just have these thought loops in your mind, and you're kind of like, your anxiety just starts increasing just so much that you almost have like a panic attack, or you have really bad social anxiety. So when you start to realize and just start to be a witness that you're having these thoughts, that these thoughts are not necessarily yourself, then that can really start to kind of lower that level of tension and also the social anxiety as well. So instead of being so stuck in your head, you're being a witness to your head, and you're going to be much more present in the current situation that you're in. So instead of just being like, oh my God, like, these people are judging me, like, do I look the right way or whatever? You're just going to be like, oh, this is just a negative thought loop in my head right now. And it's through practicing meditation, and it's through learning about being present. So a couple of good books would be The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, which a lot of people are definitely familiar with, and also The Untethered Soul, which I believe the author's name is Peter Singer. And I think if you start to really kind of like learn and absorb the information from those books, so maybe focus on reading that book for 20 minutes as well as doing a meditation for 20 minutes every day. And I definitely think that will really help with the tension that's really starting to build, as well as with your social anxiety, because you're going to learn to be much more present.
Yeah, and let me talk really quickly about the part where you say that what I've noticed is when I'm on NoFap, it's really good some days. Some days it's really good for you, okay? What you need to do is start to mimic what's taking place on those good days. Understand that life is pretty much on a pattern, so that when you're having bad days, it's because of something else. There is a pattern that has led you to that, so that when you're on your good days, there is a pattern that has led you to that. So what's important is, if you're really serious about NoFap, really serious about changing your life, you'll do anything that it takes to get there. Myself, I document everything. I document how I feel on certain days. If I'm feeling good, I document what made me feel good. If I feel bad, I document what made me feel bad. Really start to take your life into your own hands. Start taking your life into your own control, and start getting serious about it. Like, seriously, if you need to write out what made you feel good for a certain day, then do it. It can only help you. So essentially what I'm telling you is, when you're feeling good, take note of it. See what's happening. See what's made you feel this good. And then when you're feeling bad or when you think that you're going downward, just refer to that notebook maybe to see what it is that you can do to get yourself back up into that feel-good state. It's all just a matter of conscious mind play. And when you're, like when Derek said, when you're having, issues with anxiety, it's because you're in your head. Same thing happens when you're having bad days with NoFap. It's because you're feeling as if you are in that bad space. It's actually just your mind kind of playing like little weird tricks on you. So
Yeah.
gain conscious control of your mind by any means possible. Document when you're feeling good, when you're feeling bad. Just take it from there.
Absolutely. All right, so that's a great addition to that. I don't actually do that myself, but that would definitely be very, very helpful for a lot of guys for sure. All right, next question. It's been 35 days clean. I'm really happy. All the frustration and relapse that we've all went through. If I could talk today, I've been watching Seth's videos for the last 4 months. Big shout out to Seth there. Just to keep at ease. After 35 days now, I'm having a lot of urges. I can't seem to sleep right now. My brain is thinking about sex constantly. How do you get some sleep, or how do you get better sleep?
Yeah.
What are you thinking about that there, Seth? So, how do you get better sleep, or just how do you get sleep if you're constantly thinking about sex over and over and over again?
Well, sir, you just answered it in your own question. You're constantly thinking about sex. And so, just like I said in my last answer, is that you need to regain control of your mind. So, when I first started doing NoFap, my biggest issue was, oh my God, how am I going to sleep? Because sleep is like where I used to get my biggest triggers. But that's just it. If you are constantly thinking about it, your mind does not think on its own. Sure, it's possible to start spiraling out of control in thoughts, but it's not thinking on its own. You are in control of what it is you think about. And I know it's easier said than done a lot of the time, but you have to start practicing, like developing our minds so that we can start focusing on what we want versus what we don't want is extremely, extremely hard. Like I cannot emphasize this enough. It is extremely hard. No one said NoFap was easy. No one said taking control of your mind was easy. It is hard, so accept it. After you accepted it, start working on it. So that if tonight, after you watch this video, you remember me saying, start thinking about what you want, then instead of focusing both consciously and subconsciously on sex, start choosing other thoughts. And it's going to seem silly and stupid and goofy at first. I know, because I've done it, I've been there. But start choosing your thoughts. Even if you have to force yourself to think about something crazy like a black elephant until you fall asleep, then do that. But that is the amazing power of the mind. We have the ability to choose what we want to focus on. Unfortunately, for most people, we focus on the wrong things, and so we get in return what it is we focus on. Mm-hmm. And I want to stop myself there because that is the essence of that whole question. And I'm going to go rambling on if you don't stop me. So
it is the essence of the question.
So yeah, essentially.
All right, no. I'm gonna stop you right now. I'm gonna stop you.
Don't get me started.
Because you're just gonna keep going.
I am.
What I'd kind of recommend. So if it's sleep that you're having issues with, is to maybe focus on doing something before you go to sleep that's gonna get your mind off sex. So it might just be turning off your laptop, turning off your cell phone, and maybe just reading a book for 20 or 30 minutes. Reading a book about whatever you're kind of like passionate about. And just kind of like getting yourself into a relaxed state. Like you could focus on meditation before you go to sleep, or visualization, or maybe not. Hopefully not visualizing girls, but visualizing your dreams and your desires, and just focus on relaxing. You can do deep breathing exercises as well. Like there's many things that you can do to really kind of like relax yourself and just kind of like calm yourself before you go to sleep, so that you're just not constantly thinking about it. And maybe the first night you do it, you suck and you just keep thinking about sex constantly. But it's all about doing it in a repetitious way. So doing it every single night, and try for 30 days. See how it helps. If you're still having massive issues, maybe change it up a little bit. Maybe try something else out, tweak it a little bit, and then just keep trying until it just kind of finally clicks for you. So.
I see what you did there.
It's like I was playing with this in my hand. I'm like, click, click.
Perfect. Synchronicity at its best.
Synchronicities at its best.
Synchronicity.
So I hope that helps you guys with those questions. There seems to be a lot about urges, which is definitely a difficult part of NoFap is dealing with the urges. And what I've noticed is that it definitely gets much easier over time. But I've also been working at just improving my life in other ways. It's not just about abstaining from masturbation. It's a lot more. So.
Well said. So thanks, guys, for watching the video. Continue to submit your questions. We'll put a link in the description below to where you can submit those questions. Also, commenting helps as well.
Mm-hmm.
Emails. Let's just get as many questions answered as possible because there are millions of us.
Oh, yeah. Make sure if you're on Tumblr, you can follow us on Tumblr. We have 5 followers now, 5 big followers. So we've already got like 3 questions on Tumblr, so we got a good ratio there. So you can follow us on there and submit an anonymous question as well. Awesome. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Have a wonderful FAP-free day, and we'll talk to you soon. Peace.
Later.